It's Monday!
Hi. So right now it's Sunday, and really fast while my roommates are gone, I'm going to tell you what happened on Friday when I went to the Paper Towns party in Boston. Okay, so first of all, the event was supposed to be at 1000 Massachusetts Avenue, which is in Cambridge College. Now, the thing about Boston, which is untrue about, say, New York, is that Boston has kind of a sister town, Cambridge, and Cambridge and Boston kind of fit together. So, I didn't get out of class until 4:30, and then there's a bus that leaves my campus and goes into Cambridge and then Boston. There's a Cambridge stop, which is in Harvard Square, and then there's a Boston stop, which is Massachusetts Avenue and Beacon Street. I figured that since my destination was on Massachusetts Avenue, it was better to go into the Boston stop at Beacon Street. So then I get off, and you know how there are addresses, like numbered addresses on the street. So I get off at address number 27, and then I start walking all the way to 1000. I get to 1000 Massachusetts Avenue, which should, in theory, be Cambridge College, which is where the Nerdfighter event should be, and it's somewhere called Victoria's Diner. And I flip out, and then I call my mom, and then I call my cousin, and it turns out that, depending on which side of the river you're on, whether you're in Boston or Cambridge, even though there's only one Massachusetts Avenue, they number them differently depending on which town you're in. So I was at the wrong 1000 Massachusetts Avenue. I had walked more than a mile the wrong way. I ended up an hour late to the event, and even though I RSVP'd very early, I ended up locked outside with all the other late kids, and Hank played songs for us, and then we got to see Julia Nunes perform for a bit. I didn't even get to see John read because he read for the inside and the outside people, and I missed everything John said. So that was a bummer. Afterwards, though, they let out, and then a lot of people left, and then the outside people could go in.
I'm still not decided if I'm a happy Margot or sad Margot person. I think I need to decide.
And get things signed, and I got Paper Towns. I got myself a happy Margot. They were all sold out of Let It Snow by the time I got there, which is annoying because I've already read Paper Towns and I haven't read Let It Snow yet, and I'd really like to get that. So then I finally got to John, and I didn't ask him to sign anything for me. I didn't ask him to sign any of my books. I got him to sign a pad of paper for my friend Emily, but I figure if I'm only going to get like 15 seconds with John, I'd rather spend it talking to him than having him sign something. So I talked really fast about some things that were in Paper Towns that I'm not going to mention because, you guys may not have read it yet. Just asking, oh, hello, my half is open. Asking if some things that he did were intentional, and about a pun that he didn't use that I thought would have been really funny. And then right after me in line was Karen Cavett, and then when she said who she was, he started freaking out and fanboying her, and it was adorable. After that, I went on the line to see Hank. So I was standing with Alex. Luna Lovegood is my hero, link in the sidebar. And so I'm standing next to her and we're talking, and then someone goes up to Alex and they can't really see me, and they go, I know you from YouTube. And then I start laughing, and I'm like, Alex, you're so famous. And then they turn around and they look at me like this. You're Professor Spork. I am so famous! That really made me happy. Okay. So then they kicked us out of the room at 9, so then we all had to stand outside in the cold, and then Hank had to sign stuff outside. John stayed inside to finish up the line before they kicked him out, but they were trying to shoo him out the door. So then when I got to Hank, I told him that I didn't want him to sign anything, I just wanted to chat for a minute. And then in New York, a lot of people after the event got to go out to dinner with the Green Brothers, and a lot of my friends were there, and they all talked about how much they missed me. And so I told Hank, I'm Leah, the one that they were missing. And he was like, oh, you're Leah? Hi, Leah! And then he takes out his copy of Paper Towns and asks me to sign it. I signed Hank Green's copy of Paper Towns. And so then, we sit and we chat, and then eventually the people kick John out of the room as well. And then, we're all standing around talking to other Nerdfighters, and one of them turns to me and we start joking around about the people, kicking us out, and then halfway through this conversation I realized, oh my god, I'm talking to the Catherine, Hank's wife, just started talking to me, and she's so cool. Gesticulations! They're excited out there too. Oh, by the way, the Yeti, Sarah, John's wife, is stunningly, unbelievably gorgeous. Like, don't get me wrong, like, John is top of my guilt-free 3, he's my guilt-free 1, like, I think he's amazing, but even I had to think, like, how did a guy like him end up with a girl like her? Because, like, she looks like Idina Menzel and Anne Hathaway and Natalie Portman, like, all in one. She looks like she should be famous. She is stunning. And then, I got my picture taken with John, and I got to talk to him about, TOW the other Wednesday, Kaylee, and, her Nerdfighter-like relationship, and I got to ask him a question about writing. And I asked him, I'd been thinking about this a lot, like, I'm also a young writer, and, hello, open again. Like, I can't imagine writing about anyone else than who I'm writing about. I love the characters I'm portraying. I asked him how he moved on, like, if finishing a book gives you the closure that you need, and I asked him if Pudge and Alaska still talk to him, and he said no, but he said that what gives you closure isn't finishing the book, it's having other people read it, because then it doesn't belong to you anymore, it belongs to them. And I laughed at it, I was like, yeah, well, I guess then you have to move on. And he says, yes, exactly, that's it exactly. And then I was like, I'm talking to John Green about writing! And it was awesome. Oh, by the way, I was with Becca this whole time. I didn't mention that yet, but I was with Becca, and then Becca and I went out to dinner at Pizzeria Uno's with a lot of nerd fighters, and that was amazing.